Did you know that you and everybody else is a professional? It's true. Hello again, everyone. I'm Eli's dad with Project Eli, where we educate, we lead, and we inspire. And last time we got together, we were talking about referencing an article by a gentleman named Jerry Rumer called 4 Things the Pros Do Differently Than Amateurs. We went over the first 2 the last time. They're just a quick review. The first one are the pros are consistent, amateurs aren't, and the pros go deeply, amateurs go broadly. All right, now let's go over the next 2 things. And before I do that, let me point out to you why I say everybody is a professional. And let me give you the example of a homeless guy. All right, what does a homeless guy know? First of all, they know all the places where you can get free food. They know the places where it's safe to sleep. They know the places where people are giving things away. If they're a guy, that they know the best places to either panhandle, or they know the best places to wash the windshield, if you've ever seen people do that. They know all of these little nuances, all of these little details. And what about you? You say, well, I'm not a professional. The heck you aren't. Let's suppose that you're making right now $40,000 a year. You are a professional at making $40,000 a year. If you want to make $100,000 a year, you have to know and be able to do more. Right now, you're a professional at making $40K. Now, there are some people that are professional screw-ups, all right? Not a good title, but it's reality, isn't it? So everybody is professional at something, all right? Well, we've gone over 2 of the things that separate the pros from the amateurs. Let's go over a couple of more. Third one, the pros focus on their why. Amateurs focus on their effort. Now, whether you're a pro or an amateur, working towards big, ambitious goals requires a ton of effort. The difference between the pros and the amateurs, however, is that the amateurs are overly focused on how much effort it takes to achieve great things. They get intimidated by this amount of effort. They fear it, and therefore they try to escape from it by inaction, by excuses, and by distractions. The pros, however, are also deeply aware of the tremendous effort it takes to achieve great things. But they focus a lot more on their why. Instead of being intimidated by the effort, they get inspired by a clear and compelling why. They focus more on the results their efforts will yield than pondering over the effort it takes to get those results. And I was trying to think of a great example, and I saw this quote and I said, can't be any better than this. Quote, "Those who have a why to live can bear with almost any how." And the author of that is a gentleman named Viktor E. Frankl. Who was Viktor E. Frankl? Viktor Frankl was somebody that was in a concentration camp in World War II. And there were books that were written, I think he may have written one himself, about all the struggles and obstacles and things he had to do to live, to get by, and then his achievements after he got out of the concentration camp. But he had that unbelievably strong will to live, and somehow, some way, found a way to survive in that concentration camp. And there'd be anybody more professional at living than Viktor Frankl? I think not. The 4th and final one I want to talk to you about is, and this is critically important, the pros embrace failure and amateurs fear it. Failure is a natural part of the process of pursuing worthwhile things. If you're not making mistakes or screwing up now and then, you're simply not challenging yourself enough. Amateurs fear failure because they take it personally. when they make a mistake, they think that they are a mistake. When they screw up, they think that they are a screw up. They also fear that others perceive them as a failure when they fail at something. This is why they'd rather avoid failure simply by not taking any action at all. At least you cannot fail if you don't try. The pros, however, understand that making a mistake is not the same as being a mistake, and that screwing up doesn't mean you are a screw up. They've also learned not to care about how other people think of them. And you know, when I thought of this concept, my first thought was the scene from the movie Good Will Hunting. I don't know if you remember this, but there's a scene where Robin Williams, who is somewhat of a mentor to Matt Damon in the movie Will Hunting, and they're having, it's like one of the heaviest scenes in the entire movie. And he's looking at Matt Damon and he's saying, "It's not your fault. It's not your fault. The way you are, it's not your fault. It's not your fault." Well, I'm here to tell you that the attitude that people have about avoiding failure, it's not your fault. And let me tell you why. And first of all, let me tell you whose fault it is. Blame it on society. And the people that, the ones that make it are the ones that overcome this particular burden. Why is society to blame? Because in school, is there anything worse than giving the wrong answer? Everything's black and white. You give the wrong answer, you're stupid, you're an idiot, you're a dumbo. People that make it understand that it's part of the learning process. Pros view failure as a learning process. They simply think of it as gaining experience or gathering new data. Or the way I like to put it is, it's feedback. It's feedback from the infinite mind who wants to help you to achieve your goals, your burning desires, and the infinite mind is saying to you, this is the wrong direction to go. Go in a different direction. It's feedback. If you were going to somebody's house and you're completely lost and you ask for directions and somebody gives you good directions, you have to ask. You have to ask. You have to discover. The first thing is to discover you're going in the wrong direction. Learning what doesn't work is incredibly valuable. The more you learn about what doesn't work, the closer you come to discover what does work. You know that story about Edison, 10,000 experiments creating a light bulb. So you had 10,000 experiments that failed? No. I found 10,000 ways that it wouldn't work before I found the way that it would. Learn from that. With this perspective, failure can be welcomed. Each failure is another step forward, another stepping stone towards success. It's actually progress. Of course, it's not easy to go from failure to failure, but you should not be afraid of it. It should not become a reason to stop working, staying in your comfort zone, or letting your dreams go by the boards. Remember, failure is valuable, and most importantly, it's temporary. If you want to become a pro, you need to learn how to embrace it and view it as an essential part of the process. You know, there's a quote that I want to give you right now by Wayne Huizinga that says, quote, "Some people dream of success while other people get up every morning and make it happen." I presented you with 4 different traits that the pros have versus the amateurs. And once again, remember, you're already a pro at something. So embrace these concepts. And because we're never going to get out there, we're never going to end our meeting on a philosophical note. Let's get out there and charge! I'm Eli's dad.